Welcome to the podcast Friday Feels, brought to you by the Office of Counseling and Wellness at Berkeley College. I'm your host and personal counselor, Sarah Nickerson. Join our journey with Berkeley students as they navigate the challenges of the current pandemic with strength, creativity, and wisdom. New episodes released every Friday. Thanks for listening.
How you doing, Lloyd? Welcome to Friday Feels. I'm so glad to have you on our podcast. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
No problem. I'm doing good.
Okay, good. Well, we usually start off the podcast by just asking the student to tell us a little bit about themselves. So whatever you care to share, we would love to hear.
Okay, so my name is Lloyd Wilson. I'm a part of GSA at Berkeley College. I'm also the founder of the Glee Club. I graduate in August with my associates in criminal justice.
Woo!
Thank you. And I'll be back to get my bachelor's in legal studies.
Oh, nice.
Kind of excited about that.
Yeah, you should be. So tell me a little bit about what the pandemic has been like for you, and then also how the recent events have impacted you. Anything you want to share around either one of those things is great.
So I was actually diagnosed with the coronavirus, actually.
Oh, boy.
I was in isolation for a whole month.
Wow.
I was like, when I say sick, I literally thought I wasn't going to make it. And I actually got in, I'm actually doing pretty good now.
Okay, good.
All thanks to Dr. H. She reached out to someone, her name is Cayenne, and she actually helped me a lot. She helped me with whatever I needed, and now I'm actually corona-free now, so I'm doing pretty good.
That's amazing. That's great. I'm sorry to hear you were sick. I'm glad to hear that you're doing a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm doing so much better. And I've come to do so much better health-wise to being traumatized mentally now with the whole George Floyd situation. I've been actually marching myself.
Wow.
For the cause. I feel like me being a black man in America who has had, run-ins with the law, and most of it, has been very disrespectful and very degrading. I actually thought it was, my duty to get up and march for
absolutely
generations after me. I have siblings who were the same age as some of these individuals that were killed for no reason.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like I should do it for them.
Absolutely.
As much as I should do it for every other Afro-Latina, black, you name it, they're all black. I feel like it's necessary to march for them because I don't want to see in 50 years they're marching for themselves and their, and their children. So, that's how.
Absolutely. Yeah, so marching for yourself, for your community, for your family, really getting out there to be able to make a change in your life and your community's life, it sounds like.
Yeah, because it's like, you have to be, what Gandhi said, you have to be the change.
You wish to see.
So it's like, I basically have let racism slide because I'm not the confrontational type. And I've seen a lot of racism, and I've heard a lot of racism. And, I actually, now that I sit back and I think about it, I was mainly the problem because I most of my friends feel like it was very made them felt very comfortable to be, racist. Once I really sat back and was like, no, I would not want someone to speak to my mother like that. I wouldn't want someone to speak to, my sisters like that or my brothers like that. And I literally made a change in my life and was like, let me go back to how I was brought up. My mother always taught me as a young child, to basically speak up on certain things that is bothering you, that is affecting you in certain ways. Yeah. And I actually decided, I'm going to start speaking up and I'm going to start putting people in their place if they feel that it's necessary to be racist.
Yeah. Yeah. And you said that before you were kind of non-confrontational. So what has that felt like for you now in this space to be doing that?
I realize now that recently, since I've been confrontational, it has been basically dragging. I have an aura that is very non-confrontational. So, if you go from non-confrontational to confrontational, like your aura starts to drain and you start to, like a specific way. And it's really not a good feeling because it's not my place to tell someone that they shouldn't be racist. It's common sense.
Yeah.
It's pretty much common sense. You wouldn't want someone walking around, disrespecting you in that way. So why would you feel that it's necessary to do that to somebody else? I've basically looked at life at two different point of views. I've always, growing up, I've always been taught to fight with love and not with hate. So instead of me basically coming after you with hatred, I'm going to come to you with love and I'm going to sit down and educate you because that's, I was taught. So it's like, it becomes draining. It becomes draining. You try to be respectful and people just seem to be ignorant and disrespect you either way.
Yeah, and it's even worse when you are graciously taking the time to educate, which is not your responsibility, but taking the time to do that, and they're still showing the lack of empathy or ignorance, it sounds like.
Yeah, I've dealt with it a lot since I decided to speak up. I've lost a lot of friends and I've lost a lot of family, and I'm okay with it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I always say you agree to disagree and keep it moving.
Which is really sad when it comes to a human rights issue.
I always say there's two things I'll never discuss, politics and religion, and now it's human rights as well.
Yeah. Well, what has it been like for you participating in the protest? Tell me about that.
So the protest has been great. And it's crazy because it's like I will be out of commission for the next 2 days after I protest, and then I'm back at it again. It's been great. I've been into a few peaceful protests, and I've also been to a protest where it has gotten crazy. One incident, a few friends that I met at the protest and also a brother of mine, we were on our way home and, a few cops stopped us and was engaged in some words, and I had to tell, the individuals that I was with, I was like, don't say anything because they will find reasons to come out of the car and try to fight us or try to do something. I was like, just keep your mouth shut, let them talk, let them say what they want to say, because at the end of the day, if you put hands on us, you will be the ones in trouble. which I hate.
Yeah.
Which I hope, since I've seen a lot of officers get away with a lot of things. I hope, and it's been peaceful lately. I've been going to a few peaceful places, but I also have been speaking to the people that I've been protesting with, and we have been thinking of coming up with a little organization ourselves where we do it the right way.
Okay.
We'll go into the communities that need to be mentored. Instead of Manhattan, we want to go to the communities that are mainly affected by police brutality.
Yeah.
Places in the Bronx or places in Brooklyn. We want to go out and speak to them and speak to how they, try to unite everyone from Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings, unite everyone and stop the violence. Just not give the police a reason to come into our communities and dismantle it.
Yeah, yeah. So you're really looking at an even longer term solution beyond the protests that are happening now, ways that you can impact different communities and the communities that are being hit hardest by police brutality.
Yeah, because it's really not fair. It's not fair that a 12-year-old is basically playing with a toy gun and gets gunned down by a police officer because they felt threatened by a 12-year-old. It's like you cannot sit and wrap your head around a 12-year-old being murdered, or a woman that's playing video games with her nephew in the comfort of her home. It's just things like that you can't really wrap your mind around, and it's like, you try to figure out solutions like what can you do? And that's the best that, I can do.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioned that you've been having a lot of your own sort of mental health struggles around this issue, which I'm sure has been upset further by what's going on, but I'm sure in some ways has always been there. What have you found are some of the emotions that have been coming up for you the most frequently in the last few weeks?
Anger mainly. I realize, I've been following the case, and, it's, I couldn't actually watch the whole video.
Yeah.
I remember, I was sitting down and I was holding a conversation with my sister, and, she told me, she was like, it's sad because he was screaming for his mom who passed away years ago, and me being a person whose mother passed away 4 years ago, so I know that feeling of wanting your mother to be there when you're in such pain.
Yeah.
So that really broke my heart. And I'm so angry because it's like, in the beginning, they wasn't going to charge the man that killed Floyd.
I know. It's ridiculous, yeah.
Like, they said they needed more evidence. And I'm like...
It's right there.
Like, are you serious?
Yeah.
But, yeah, they will charge a black person for being at the wrong place at the wrong time. I forgot his name, Khalif Bowen, I believe his name. He committed suicide after he was he was wrongfully imprisoned for having a book. He booked that. So it's like, I see it so unfair. It's like, it's really so unfair. And it's like, my mental health has been very up and down. My emotions have been very all over the place.
Absolutely.
I really want to say that I see hope in the future for our generation and the generations after. But the way how things are going, I see there are changes, but I also see that once this thing, because I believe that some people think that this is a trend and this is something to be played with. And after all of this is done, everyone is going to get comfortable and is going to get settled to the new things that these new laws that they're signing, and nothing is really going to change.
Yeah. There's got to be sustained movement.
Exactly. You know, we have to keep pushing, keep moving forward, because at the end of the day, if you get too comfortable, then that means you're okay with how they're treating you. We have, you know, officers, racist officers using chokeholds. We're still going to have, you know, the same thing is still going to happen.
Yeah.
It's been happening for 400 plus years now. It's going to keep still happening. Once people stop being so comfortable and start really, you know, really going out there and really putting foot to concrete and stepping and stomping and doing everything that they have to do, then we really demand to see some changes. Be real honest.
Yeah. People need to press forward in that. And that's something that, especially as a white woman and for my friends who are in white communities, you know, performance activism is not enough. It's not enough to just post something or, you know, to verbalize something just because of this, you know, sense of maybe like guilt or shame, or even you have some strong empathy in the moment. There needs to be a continued effort, a continued pressing forward.
Yep. That's how I feel as well. You know, like, I feel like, I don't really knock anyone for not protesting. Everybody's, I know people sending out letters to their assemblymen and to, you know, to all of the mayors and the governors. And trust me, that's not really doing anything. They're not really reading it. I feel like they're not really reading it. Because now they have, I'm pretty sure they have thousands of, and none of these offices are really open. And, you know, and I love the fact that I've gotten a whole bunch of, you know, individuals on my social media network who've been out there, you know, posting and it's also, you know, I said that to say this. I was marching and I seen a woman in her walker. Marching. And I'm like, if you can do it, then everybody else who's sitting at home wanting to start arguments over all lives matter and want to do this and want to do that should be able to come out and walk too and have perfectly good legs. Be able to come out and walk.
Yeah.
So,
what do you,
sorry, I was just saying, don't be an ally.
No, go ahead.
Keys. Don't be an ally behind keys. Be an ally. There you go.
Yeah, like an everyday ally in every moment, not just like in one burst.
Yeah. Like, oh, I'm going to do it because it makes me seem cool.
Right. Yeah, there's got to be some real, you know, like a real heart change there. Like, what are we doing to make this better? What are we doing to, you know, engage people around this conversation? How are we addressing things in the moment? You know, there's a lot of ways that we can stay active to combat, you know, racial injustice in the country. And it's not going to be something that happens overnight or in one moment or a movement, like you're saying. Like, you know, it's trending. It's like it's got to be something that it's systemic. And so if it's systemic, then it has to really, you know, be in every single area that we're addressing racial issues, for sure.
Exactly. Like if you see, somebody, if you can call me your best friend and see someone attacking me for my skin color, that's what I want. Not physically attacking, but like, telling them like, listen, do not disrespect my friend. He's a black man. That's what I want. Not if you person just sitting there, talking about me and you're there laughing and he had ha, but yet you call me your best friend. You're not doing anything for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's, this is all anyone asks for. We ask for support.
Yeah.
We ask for allies. We're used to doing it ourselves. We've done it ourselves so many times.
Yeah.
But we're asking for, that support and that ally. Because you could try to change the world with a few hundred, but then those few hundreds will go and talk to this few hundred. And then, you have, people that speak different languages, they're allies to us. They can reach out to their people. And, and it could be like now, it's a whole global thing now.
Yeah. Yeah. The conversations are what moving us forward.
Yeah, it's basically a global thing. Like, this is basically the biggest civil rights movement of all time. This is basically going to go into the history book.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I can't remember where I heard it. I think it might have been, I took the social work class earlier in the year, but one of the things they had said was justice or healing cannot occur without acknowledgement of pain. So there has to be like a real acknowledgement of the pain behind the problem. Not just like being like, oh, this is a problem and let us like, figure it out real fast. Like there has to be a really deep, uncovering and really digging into the pain and the problem that's happening in front of us for there to be a long lasting change. And it sounds like, Lloyd, like you are a big part of that you are having the hard conversations, that you're out there protesting, that you are giving back to your community. And I know that must be exceedingly difficult, with everything you have going on. But man, it sounds like you're doing some really incredible work.
Thank you. Yeah, it's because, growing up, Black people, African Americans, we're always taught to basically keep everything to ourselves. So it's like, for a person who has basically been keeping things to yourself, it basically leaves you mentally unstable.
Yeah.
And I try to teach a lot of people that it's okay to open up. It's okay to tell people how you feel. It's okay to tell people you're uncomfortable. Preserve your mental state and to preserve, your mental stability, you need to open up and talk. You need to tell people.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
If it's okay for these people to sit down and break bread with you, then it should be okay for them to understand how you feel.
Absolutely. I love that. Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
My mental state is not a thing to joke with. My every day of life is not a thing to joke with. Now people are seeing what Black people have been seeing for years in their community. We pretty much have witnessed what the world has witnessed every single day. Every day. Yeah. You have your friend standing in the corner just talking, but yet, a police officer will feel like, oh, they're out here soliciting drugs or I don't even think that's the word, but, they're out here selling drugs or they're out here, but we could just be standing in the corner waiting for someone.
Right.
No, so it's like, the Black community has seen this for years, and basically the world saw it within that one video. Many people, because even the Eric Garner video, That's a prime example there.
Yep. Yep.
Eric Gardner video. I forgot the other gentleman that got killed selling CDs.
Mm.
You know, selling CDs out of his truck, basically to promote himself, to start his business.
Mm.
So, you know, this is basically, we can't keep saying that this is basically an everyday thing, because it really is an everyday thing, but we need to stop making it an everyday thing.
Mm.
We really need to say something, you know.
Yeah.
It's sad, and I'm
Absolutely.
really happy that this movement is really happening right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's been way too long in the making. And, you know, if you were, you know, my last question to you would be, if you were to recommend like one resource that has been really helpful for you, or one, thing that has really kept you going or kept you grounded or inspired you, like what encouragement would you have to offer other people who are out there fighting?
So, okay, I'm gonna make it real quick. My roots. I was born here, but I was raised in Jamaica, and my family, we're culturally Rastafarian.
Okay.
And, that has basically been like my go-to, with the practices that I was taught with, you know, being Rastafarian, and the fact that I have friends and family that I can't say depend on me, but are looking at me.
Mm.
I'm trying to be an example for them.
Yeah.
You know, I have
a
11-year-old brother who will see his older brother walking, and, you know, and see his older brother making a difference, and he's proud.
Yeah.
I have friends who put you know, a picture of me on Facebook, and will you be like, oh, you know, look at my brother doing look at my friend doing his thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's that acknowledgement of knowing that I'm doing something to make a difference.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's all I really wanted to do from I was a child. I always used to say that I wish I was around when Malcolm X was doing his speeches and stuff, because I also looked to Malcolm X as well.
Yeah, for sure.
So those have been like my main go-to that has been waking me up every day out of my bed for me to do some schoolwork and then, you know, go out and protest if I can. I can't make it. I say I do it every single day, because I really don't. But I do it when I can.
Absolutely.
And why.
Absolutely. Well, Lloyd, I'm super grateful for you taking the time to talk to me, and I appreciate your vulnerability and your honesty and your openness. It really means a lot to me, and it's so encouraging to hear what you're doing out there and what the community is doing and how we are moving forward very slowly. And I just want you to know that we're grateful for you, and we're so thankful for your leadership and the way that you are moving forward as well.
Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, you know, if you ever want to come back on Friday Feels and talk some more, we'd love to have you. You know, but again, I really thank you. And, you know, if you ever want to recommend anybody to come speak with us, or if you ever come up with any more resources or anything that you want to put out there, please let us know, and we'll be sure to spread the word.
Okay, cool. I definitely will. I've like I said, I've been in touch with a few people, so I definitely will give you whatever you need.
Awesome, Lloyd. You're great. Okay, well, talk to you soon.
You too. Enjoy your day.
Okay. You too. Be well. Be safe.
I will. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
That's all for now. Join us next week for another episode of Friday Feels. Enjoy your weekend and stay safe. Be well.